In today's market, there are some things that you need to pay attention to so that you do not make these costly mistakes when buying or selling a house here in the Myrtle Beach area. Today, I'm going to discuss some of these things with you to hopefully help you make the right decisions along the way and save you thousands upon thousands of dollars, or just simply help you win the house that you're thinking of buying. So let's get into this list. The first thing on the list that I wanted to discuss is buyers not being prepared. In this market today, as I've shared in the past, things are moving quickly. Homes are hitting the market on a Thursday, and by Friday, they're under contract for over asking price. So if you're a buyer who's thinking about buying a home right now, you need to not take the time to think on it or sleep on it overnight, because if you're going to take that time, you're going to lose the house in the long run. Someone else is going to come along, write the offer, submit it, win the home, and when you come back and say, hey, Jeremy, we're ready to buy this house now, it's too late. The other thing that you need to do is have everything prepared ahead of time. And one of those key things is to have a pre-approval in place. You want to get with a local lender and get that pre-approval so that you're ready when you find the home to submit it. And we have to send along that pre-approval with it. We don't want to just go in and say, oh, we can get that for you down the road. If there are 7 or 8 offers that are in on that home and yours is the only one that doesn't, I can almost guarantee yours is going to get thrown out of the mix right away because you don't have proof showing that you can purchase that property. Now, you may say, well, I'm buying cash. If that's the case, great. Then let's get a letter ahead of time, a proof of funds letter stating we have this money, we're available in liquid assets that we can go on and purchase this house right away when we write the offer. We want to have everything in place so that when we go submitting our offers, everything is good to go and there's no questions. That means I need to send along the property disclosure, I need to send along your pre-approval or your proof of funds. We need to know who we're going to use for the attorney. Now, I know it sounds like we might be moving at light speed with some of this stuff, but we can discuss all these things ahead of time, be prepared so that when the home hits that fits our price point and is everything that we wanted, we can move in quickly, attack, and win the home. The second thing on the list is that when I tell you that there's multiple offers on the home, we need to be ready to spring forward instantly with what we want as our absolute best offer. That means if you're thinking about buying the home and it's $750, but if you need to, you'd pay $755, let's just go in at $755 to start, because that might be what it takes to get the home. The worst thing that you can have happen is I call you and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Buyer, you lost out on the home today. They took another offer, and you go, man, I wish I had spent another $5,000. I'd have gone another $5,000. Well, if that's what you would have done, let's just do it from the beginning. We want to go in best foot forward right off the bat so that we have the absolute best. The other thing that people are doing right now is they're doing other types of inspection waives. They're waiving contingencies on appraisals and all that kind of stuff. The people who I helped buy a home this last week, they've paid attention to my videos. They've listened to my advice, and we've had many conversations to be prepared for when the home hit that fit all their needs. They went in $30,000 over asking price. They bought the home as a cash home, and they were able to beat 8 other offers on the home. It was very close, but because they took my advice and had everything in place, and we had all the proof and all the documents needed all in one place at once, they were the ones to win. So we want to make sure we're prepared, have everything in place and ready to go. The third mistake that I've heard a ton of buyers say recently is, we're just gonna wait for the market to slow down, Jeremy. Well, here's the reality. The market's not slowing down. Right now, we have an inventory at 1.4 months. That is the absolute lowest I have ever seen in my 20 years in real estate. That means there's not a lot of options out there. And until that inventory starts to creep back up towards the 4 to 5, 6 month range, and even over that, we're still gonna be in a seller's market. That means sellers can demand their prices, people are going to be willing to pay it, and people are going to continue to go full price or over on things. The interest rates are starting to show signs of possibly creeping up a little bit, but because there's still such a lack of inventory, it's going to be a very long time till things start to plateau and level out here. So if you're thinking, oh, we'll just wait, well, what's going to happen is you're going to wait that 6 to 10 months or year, or maybe even a little bit longer for the market to, quote, slow down. But during that time, prices are going to continue to go up another $30, $40, $50, maybe $100,000. Well, in the long run, are you really winning if you have to pay another $50,000 to $100,000? I would say not. Also, if interest rates go from where they're sitting right now up 1% to 2%, you're definitely going to spend a lot more money. So while you may, quote, wait for the market to slow down and wait for more inventory to show up, what you're really going to do is cost yourself a ton of money in the long run. Now, let's talk about one of the costly mistakes that I see sellers making right now. And that is they just assume it's a strong market. There's limited inventory. People are going to pay whatever price I want on my home. I had a home that I recently saw come back on the market. I had this property listed back a few years ago for right around the $400,000 mark, and it didn't sell. The sellers decided at that point that they were going to take it off the market and just stay put. Well, now that they know that the market is strong, they've decided to go back on. They didn't call me to list it because they knew what I would tell them price-wise on it, because the same things that were wrong with the house then are still here today. So they called another company, listed the house up from $400,000 to $850,000. The home's been on the market now for a little over a month and a half, and it's still showing as an active listing. It has not had offers that have been accepted yet, and the home is still just sitting there. Meanwhile, that community has had 5 or 6 other homes come on the market that have already gone to pending. So what does that tell me? It tells me that buyers aren't willing to just pay more than what the market is really worth, and they're not going to accept a home that has real major issues with it. We still need to have things looking right. We need to have things fixed that are broken and sell things close to what the market value says. If we put those in place, we can definitely get your home under contract pretty quickly. If you're somebody who just says, I'm going to test the market, well, get ready for it to sit a little while. And what happens is that if you go past that 2 to 3 week period, then the buyers of your property are going to say, hey, this home's been sitting for a while. There must be something wrong with it. Or, you know what? I bet this seller is desperate now because their home's been on the market for 3 or 4 weeks. Let me go in and lowball them and see if they'll take my offer. And what it actually does by trying to overlist your house price, it costs you more money in the long run. Instead, list it close to what the market says. Let there be multiple offers that come in that bid up the property value and get a competition going on your home. And you're going to end up making a lot more in the long run. Another costly mistake that I see sellers doing is this. The market's strong. I don't need an agent. Everybody's showing these agents that put a house on the market today and it sells in less than 12 hours. Why in the world do I need to hire somebody to do it? Well, here's the reality. We as agents, we're used to this market now. We've been in it for a little over 2 years. We've dealt with tons of multiple offers on the buying side and on the selling side. And when you're selling your home, you want an agent who is there that, number one, is going to know the market. They're going to be able to get you a fair value of what your home is worth. And they're also going to be able to help you to decipher the 8, 10, 12 offers that may come in. I want to share a story with you of one of my clients that's moving here to Myrtle Beach right now. They had a home that they were getting ready to sell in Austin, Texas area, and they were going to sell it themselves. They went on Zillow, they pulled up the market report, and the Zestimate said that their home was worth $600,000. They said, well, Jeremy, Zestimate says 600, we're going to list it for 600,000. And I said, well, here's the thing. Zillow hasn't been in your house, so do they really know a fair value of what it is? Nor has that been updated recently with the market's current conditions. So instead, what we need to do is get an agent who can come in. I've got some great friends that are agents in Austin, Texas. Let me get one of them to come in, check out your house, and give you a fair value. If it's the same thing of what you think, then you know you're doing the right thing. But I'm going to guess that it's more than that. So my client friend went in, he talked to them a little bit, and guess what? His name's Jeremy too. Jeremy went in and said, you know what? This house is worth $665,000, I think is where we should list. So my people said, great, listed the home with him for $665,000. Went on the market on a Thursday afternoon. By Friday, that home was sold for $727,000 as is purchase. They got an extra $120,000 by using a real estate agent versus trying to do it on their own. You want somebody there that can help you negotiate through all of the different offers that come in, that can help you if you need maybe a lease back. Maybe you're buying a home here in Myrtle Beach. As I've shared many times, you need at least 45 days for closing. And if you go and purchase and take that first contract that comes in that says we're closing in 30 days, you're going to be in trouble. Why is that? Because first off, the attorney's not going to be able to close on time. But number two, you're going to run into an issue with not having a place to move into and you're going to be homeless. So you want an agent who can be there to help you negotiate a lease back on your property. That's why you want us there. We have formulas in place. We have spreadsheets that are designed specifically for these occasions when we have multiple offers that we can give it to you in an easy way for you to understand what all the offers say and easily pick which is going to be the best one for you. So if you're thinking of going on your own, think again. It may cost you a lot more than what it costs for an agent. I can almost guarantee you that one. All right, let's jump back to buyers for a minute. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see buyers making right now is not choosing a local lender to help them with their loan. In today's market where it's very competitive, multiple offers to pick from, the smallest advantages that we can find could end up being the thing that determines whether your offer is accepted over someone else. That's why I say to my clients all the time, let's use a local lender here in town, one that has a good reputation with the agents around the beach, so that when they see their name on the pre-approval, they're going to know your loan's good, you're going to close on time, there's not going to be issues, and that if they've gotten a pre-approval from that local lender, it's pretty much good to go all the way through. Meanwhile, other people are going and getting loans with some of the online banks that are out there where they're just randomly putting a little bit of information in, nothing's verified, and they're getting a piece of paper spit out. Well, if I have two offers that look exactly the same and everything's in there, all the contingencies, whatever may be exactly the same, and the one determining factor is local lender versus an online lender, which one do you think is going to win? I can guarantee you all the agents in town are going to pick the one with the local lender just so that they have that connection and can have a contact to check in and make sure everything's on track. This next one, it's directed at you sellers, and that is have some patience. Okay, listen. We put your house on the market on Wednesday and we get that offer Wednesday afternoon, but they put a real short expiration window. We have to tell them by the next day at noon or we're going to lose that offer. Here's the reality. If you end up losing it, it's going to be okay. But more than likely, that buyer is going to be willing to work with you and extend it, especially if they feel they may win the home. Why do we want to be patient? Because the reality is, the reason you haven't had other offers yet is there just hasn't been enough time. You want to try to list your homes and have a couple days, maybe a weekend, where you can have that agent get out, do an open house in some markets where they're taking place and it's bringing in value, or just have the time for people to go and show. I try to put my listings on the market on like a Wednesday or Thursday and then let it go through the weekend so that there's plenty of time for those who are thinking about buying and interested in that home to go look at it, get their materials together and submit their offers. If we can just wait for that multiple offer situation to happen over the weekend, we're going to end up selling your home for much, much more. Now, there are going to be those rare occasions where one comes in that is just absolutely insane of an offer that's way above and beyond, and they may say, you know what, you got to accept my offer by 5 p.m. or it goes off the table. And if that happens and you think it's great, go ahead and take it. But in the long run, most of you want to take time, be patient, give it a day or two, and let the offers come in so that you can then look at it all, call for highest and best, and end up selling your house for the absolute top dollar. Okay, buyers, this one is for you. Listen, I understand that you don't live here in Myrtle Beach. I understand you're 500 miles away and you're not gonna buy a house if you can't put your own two eyes on it. And if a seller's not willing to take your offer with that 2-week contingency for you to get down here and view the home and say it's the one you like, you're not writing an offer. I get it. But here's the reality. We're in a market right now where sellers aren't going to take those types of offers. Why would they want to tie their home up for 2 weeks for you to come down and view the home instead instead of just saying no, the home's on the market. It's going to be active until we get offers that we want to submit. If you are interested in it, get in the car, come down and look at it, and then submit your offer, and then we'll go from there. So we need to not think about those types of things. What I've been sharing with people a lot lately is go figure out what neighborhoods you like here in Myrtle Beach. Take that trip down here and look for homes. Figure out what segment of the beach you want to be in. Figure out if it's a specific community or subdivision or whatever it may be. And then you can have an agent who works with you virtually. If you, for example, say, you know what, we love the farm at Carolina Forest. And Jeremy, we're just waiting for the right home to come on the market in the farm. So then you know when that home hits, you're ready to go. You know you love the neighborhood. You're familiar with the floor plans that are there. We can go out. I can take my phone, do a FaceTime walkthrough with you, and you're comfortable buying the home. If you're somebody who says, I'm not even doing that, Jeremy, I have to see it, then what we need to do is just plan a trip, get together, be here for several days, and hope that during that time something comes on the market that's going to fit your needs and we can go see it in person and submit your offer. Because in today's market, sellers are not going to wait around. They're not going to take contingent and take the home off the market for you to get in the car, drive down here and see it within a week. All right, and the last mistake that I want to share, this goes to you buyers, and I want you to understand something. There isn't going to be a perfect home out there for you. You may have your dream set on finding the absolute perfect home, but the reality is you're not going to find it. I heard a statistic once that you could go and build a home making changes 7 or 8 times till you got it to, quote, perfect, and still there would be things after the fact that you wish you would change. So instead, we need to think of this in a formula, analytical way. And the way that I like to share it is this. If the homes that we're looking at, 80% of it you're just absolutely in love with. You love the kitchen, you love the cabinets, you love the backyard and the master bedroom and the bath, but there's 10% that you can just, I can live with the fact that it has the bonus room upstairs instead of on the back. That's not a big thing to me and I can't change it anyway. And you're okay living with that. And 10% that you can change. Maybe the paint, you don't like the color in it, and hey, paint's cheap. I can buy a roller and a bucket of paint and go paint that in a day. If that's what you find, a house that's 80-10-10, then that's the house for you. You need to be ready to move on that house quickly, submit your offer, go in with the strongest foot forward from the beginning, and be prepared for a bidding war after the fact. We may get lucky and not end up in one, but more than likely that's what we're going to end up with is a bidding war. And if that happens, don't panic and freak out. Just know we're going to need to go in with our best foot and try to win and do whatever it takes so that we can secure you the property. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on costly mistakes that you could face right now in buying and selling a house here in Myrtle Beach. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email. My email's down below here. It's info@jeremyblanton.com. And if you enjoyed this video, as always, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, get that bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.